Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel Guard of Gondor. We are back in the town of Lintrev. You might remember we had already started some of the quests in here. I forgot to get Garliv out, but we need to pick up a couple more quests before we start doing, well, whatever this episode has in store for us.
Something stirs in the shadows of the rails.
Oh, hello there. I am Helith. Have you been down to the river? I was there earlier today, but the scariest big folk I have ever seen came thundering down the road. I dove for the bushes then rushed back here as quickly as I could. Alas, I forgot to hide my tracks. If you go down to the river, we'll just cover my footprints if you see them. Major Dingard insists that we leave no trace of ourselves where the scary big folk can see them, but I am too afraid to go back down myself. Not really that good with accents. I do my best, but not professional by any means. Okay, yeah, we also gotta take care of the Crevine in here, and they turned hostile. I didn't remember that.
A fine day to ye.
Hello there, Iago Root's my name. Did you know that to the west we have some very unsavory neighbors? Behind their walls, terrible orc-looking creatures have built deadly weapons, capable of throwing stones for miles. Well, maybe not miles, but very far, and with good accuracy. I have seen them practicing their aim on travelers on the road below. Now, I happened to get a look at one of these machines up close once. Do not ask how, it is a long tale. In any case, there is a flaw in their construction, and they are too much the fool to realize it. A single pin, when removed, can render the entire contraption useless. I will pay you if you sneak into their town and steal away these pins. Bring them back to me, that I might forge arrowheads with them to be used to defend Lintrev. Oh, that's bold. I like that. Ah, the Major, okay.
Might you aid me?
Oh, hello, my name is Hairless Dringard, Mayor of Lintrev. Well, yes, we are but a small village. Even so, I take my duties very seriously, and there is some very serious danger afoot. From my watchtower I can see out for miles and miles. To the east, a fearsome foe has dug into the cliffs, building fortresses and huge spiked walls. Of late, the air has been filled with smoke in that direction. Their bonfires are so many that I fear for our little village. I do not wish to alarm my neighbors, but perhaps you could do something about this? They are very nearly on our doorstep. Sure, I'll see what I can do, but first of all, let's take care of the Crevine in here. This at least is going quite fast. Faster than I thought. These gambits are hitting for quite a lot, I gotta say. Although I'm still getting used to only having 2 builders. My god, it does take a while. Especially because I am alternating this playthrough, of course, with my regular playthrough on Arkenstone. And of course, going from 5 icons to just 2 icons. It feels so weird, but I can't wait until I get more icons unlocked. That is gonna be so rewarding.
You return. Most excellent.
The farmers will be glad you have helped in their fields, and everyone's toes will be safer now.
Having you help me went so well that I've decided to let you help me once more.
Level 11. Oh, fancy that. Having you help me went so well that I have decided to let you help me once more. For a fee again, of course. This morning, I managed to lose my favorite handkerchief. It was taken away by the wind and landed somewhere northwest of Lintrev. If you find it, bring it back to me, will you? I guess I can take a look at that. But first of all... Oh, there are a couple things that we can do around here, actually. Where do I go first? Because, yeah, last time we shoot the shrews. So they are not bothering the apple trees anymore, but we're gonna leave them a peace offering of sorts. What a great vantage point this is. I can only imagine at daytime this looks amazing. So I hope I can come back here during the day. Oh, poor Garliv. Gonna get you out there. I hope I can come back here during the day and take a look, see what else there is to see in this place. Also, now that I remember, please also forgive if I'm sounding a little bit funny, or I don't know. I don't even know how I am sounding, but the allergies, man. It's been so cold these days that my allergies have gone crazy. Shrews emerge from every direction to visit the basket of apples. With this we can go back. So yeah, my allergies this past few days have gone worse than usual. So yeah, sorry if my voice is maybe sounding too nasal. I don't like when that happens, but once again, I'm not a professional. I don't know how to play with my voice that way so that I can try different ways of producing it. But I would love to learn how to do that for situations such as this.
Something stirs in the shadows of the veils.
You did it. You did it. Do you think this was their plan all along? That's very shrewd of them, Beriathan. Now they have plenty of apples and they don't even need to steal them. Oh, I suppose I cannot be too grumpy about it. There's no denying that my apple trees are the finest in all the Storvales. Even the shrews think so. You did good work today and I thank you for it. And I know the shrews do as well. Yeah, wouldn't you know, they were playing with us? Can they do that? Are they that smart? We'll need to wait and see. For the time being, we can investigate a couple of different things actually. But I think what we need to do first is actually investigating the corruption in the plants, because this quest is already level 8 and we are level 11. So I don't want to overlevel that quest too much. But from what I remember, this is one of those instances in which you will be asked to go to the same place twice or 3 times even. I do remember now what's the source of the corruption. We're gonna let this play out anyway, but we will be doing this a couple more times. Like, if I remember correctly, you find new evidence of the corruption of the plants, bring that evidence to the hobbits, and they will ask you to go deeper and deeper into the forest until you find what's going on. And once again, lots of backtracking. I'm not a big fan of backtracking. I haven't met the first player who is, but this quest in particular, the first time I did it, was so annoying. Let's see what I think of it today. Now, I think the Shadow's presence threatens you, a corrupted beast. Talk to Gwenfor. We gotta go back to Bling Heli and everything. God. So yeah, I guess we can mount. This might take a while. Also, we're about to unlock a new trait bonus. Oh my god. So we can get some extra physical mastery. Yeah. We don't have a lot of bleeds yet. And we don't have the power attack gambit line unlocked anyway, so seems this is all we can do for the time being. Gambit hit initial damage, spear gambit initial damage. Yeah, it's looking good. Once again, if need be, if I come across another enemy camp that turns out to be tougher than I anticipate, we might switch to blue, some extra morale, extra healing. We also get restorative shield work, which does help. But at least so far, I haven't found an instance in which we'll need that extra healing. Oh my god, I took the wrong turn. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you can get to Glynhelig and Lintrev from... I call this the backside. I don't know if this is a backside, a back door. But this one will eventually lead you back to Clegor. As far as I know, this is just a different path, but I haven't found anything noteworthy in here just yet. A vantage point, a very cool vantage point to take a good look at Glynhelig. But other than that, yeah, I haven't found much. I do like to take my time trying to get the explorer deeds, but I'm not the greatest explorer there is. So I usually struggle with those deeds and leave some of them unfinished. So what I'm trying to say is basically there might be some things of interest in that path that I haven't discovered. That wouldn't surprise me, but I haven't found them. I don't know, maybe I'll come back at some point, complete those deeds. Who knows?
Is there something I can do for you?
The shadow touches the beasts of the land now. It is more dire than I thought. First the plants and now the animals. If we allow this corruption to go unabated, it could cause a great strife in the Storvales. My friend in Lintrev has told me similar stories. In fact, he speaks of black riders passing through. I suspect he could tell you more. Go to Lintrev and find Nudus Satchik. Regale them of what has transpired and give them this sample of colt's food. Lintrev is north of here, just follow the road east out of Glynhelig. Yeah, I really don't get this quest. You basically need to get to Lintrev to find that corrupted bear, so I don't know why this quest flows in such a weird way, but at least now that we are kinda back on the road, we can also try looking for the handkerchief. For the habit tracks we need to hide. Here we have the handkerchief, of course. And the handkerchief is surprisingly heavy. There is a rock tied to it. Alright. This is a very fun quest line. We'll see what this is about in just a moment. But we also got our first mention of black riders passing through. And that is the detail that I also really like a lot. How the entire purpose of this Before the Shadow mini expansion was, of course, well, provide an alternate way of starting the game and an alternate way of introducing new players to the world, the storylines, the threats that we face. And we'll get to talk more about this as we progress through this, but I think in general this Before the Shadow does a great job at teasing things that will come in the future, but also teasing things that happen in the book. And the original Shadows of Angmar storylines did that as well, but Before the Shadow does it so much because I think it understands what kind of audience it's trying to get to play the game. Players who might have seen the movies, might have seen the Amazon show, some readers of the books also that might not have known about the game before. So they are using the source material so much more than what they did in Shadows of Angmar. Trying to show you that we might be doing things that are not entirely related to the books, that didn't happen in the books, but we are sort of in that same place. And this in the Black Riders now does a great job of starting this trend that once again we'll see repeated all throughout our journeys of Swampfleet and Cardolan. And that happened before in Shadows of Angmar. Once again, we got to meet the Nazgul there and the Angmar and all, but at times the Shadows of Angmar storyline felt, of course, part of Middle-earth and using the characters and using the lore and everything, but at times it felt really disconnected from what happens in the books. And this doesn't happen as much with Before the Shadow. It's not so jarring in here. So Before the Shadow is a great starting point for new players who really want to get into what the books provide as soon as they can. And I really like the expansion for doing this. But, and once again, we might get to talk about this a little bit later, I still miss from the original Shadows of Angmar storyline how it was creating its own thing from the very beginning. And I don't know, I'm maybe trying to get the best of both worlds, because I do enjoy how Before the Shadow it works more closely with the books, but I also like how Shadows of Angmar, while still using the books as best as it can, it also it's taking the risk to create something very different to what most players would expect. And that's what I felt the first time I played this. And there are a couple things that I think Shadows of Angmar does better than Before the Shadow. So this is also one of the main reasons why I would like to find a way to connect both storylines. To see how this Before the Shadow storyline can lead into Shadows of Angmar, not at book 4, but sooner. Because finishing Shadows of Angmar and then jumping directly to book 4, no, finishing Before the Shadow, sorry, and jumping directly to book 4 of Shadows of Angmar really doesn't feel like a natural progression of the story. I think they kind of dropped the ball a little bit in there, because book 4 especially assumes the player knows a little bit of what has happened on the previous books of Shadows of Angmar, and also knows what happens in the books a little bit as well. And I don't think you can take any of those things for granted, not even assuming players know what happens in the books, because you might be trying to attract players who might have not read the books yet. And I think Before the Shadow would work a little bit better if it was leading into book 1 of Shadows of Angmar, I would say. Even the prologue, I don't know. We'll need to wait until the end of this playthrough really to see how can I make any sense of this. If it is even possible, I don't know.
You found it! Oh, how very odd!
Someone has tied a bunch of strings to my handkerchief and weighed it down with a rock. I suppose that was enough to keep the wind from carrying it away, but it was still too heavy to float. He pauses in his musings, as if remembering that you are here. Ho, who could have done this to my handkerchief, I wonder? He glances about, then winks at you conspiratorially. Oh my god.
Have you been to the edge of the nearby cliffs yet?
Have you been to the edge of the nearby cliffs yet? If not, you have got to take in the view. If you like, I will meet you over there and show you the best lookout spot. Yeah, yes to that, of course, but let's wait until the sun goes a little bit higher, because that's also one of those vantage points you don't want to miss.
Something stirs in the shadows of the veils.
Hello, have you done it? Oh, marvelous. I would not have slept a wink had I thought those nasty big folk from up the road would have found us. Why, I have had such an upset tummy that I have not eaten in at least an hour. And of course, we cannot have that for a hobbit, right? We have completed Tales of Swampfleet Advanced, just 5 LOTRO points. You see no virtue XP at all for any of these deeds, and this is really hurting us. We have unlocked 3 different virtue slots and we don't have the first virtue to slot. And yeah, we're really strong as it is, but it feels so weird not being able to have even 1 virtue up at level 11. That's also some place else I think the LOTRO team dropped the ball, not providing any sort of virtue XP for this. And once again, I understand they wanted to prevent high-level players from farming easy virtue XP, and that is alright in my book, but I guess the engine doesn't allow this kind of thing, otherwise I might have done it. But if there was a way for the deeds to detect the level of the player and grant the rewards accordingly, you could gate the virtue XP by level, and that might be an unpopular take, because if they are able to implement this in any area, that wouldn't stop them from implementing that measure in every area of the game, and that would potentially kill deed farming and virtue XP farming. So I don't know, I just wish there was some more virtue XP rewards in Swampfleet and Cardolan, because you feel at a disadvantage compared to the people who play Shadows of Angmar. And it feels so weird that this expansion is trying to attract new players and ease them better into the game, but doesn't provide enough virtue XP for them. As an experienced player, you really don't need it, but I imagine fresh players who have not played the game before could really use the virtue XP that they are not getting here. So there are really a lot of weird things with Before the Shadow that might not affect the day-to-day gameplay that much, but I mean, it's really jarring as well.
Just a moment.
The corruption on this Colt's Foot plant is troubling indeed. You say Gwenfor sent you. She was right. This might explain the recent unrest in Cobshollow. Ever since the Black Riders passed through, the situation here in the Storvales grows more and more bleak. Our very way of life is being threatened.
I have witnessed the crossing of Black Riders through these parts, and a veil of shadow along with them.
Thank you for sharing your story with me. I have witnessed the crossing of Black Riders through these parts and a veil of shadow along with them. It has had a terrible effect on the land. All the spiders of Cobshollow have come to chaos. I have been working together with my friend Koruwen to deal with the Shadow's corruptive force. Yeah, I agree that the Black Riders would embolden the spiders, even bring a new shadow to the land, but come on, those are spiders. I mean, like, you being surprised about the spiders being a threat. I mean, you don't even need Black Riders coming along for the spiders to be a threat. But of course, the spiders are most likely empowered by their presence, by their passing. In any case, we'll need to investigate this, and I do remember this part because that was the point at which I said I've had it with this quest. I really don't get it, because you see, this quest starts in Glynhelig. So they tell you, go and investigate the corruption of the plants. You go and do that. Go back to the town. Alright, now investigate further. You found the corruption of the animals that we just did. Okay, you go back. They say, okay, now go and investigate the spiders, which is so far from the village. You go and do that and defeat the spiders. And then you go back again and they tell you, all right, yeah, this is a big problem. Please go and kill the Spider Queen, return to where you were just a few minutes ago, and do the entire thing again, basically. So yeah, that was the point at which I said I had it with that quest line. I don't get it why you are doing it that way, but it really isn't helping anyone. And ironically, unintended maybe, but This sort of quest design is so 2007 when the game was initially released, advancing the investigation step by step, which has its merits, but from a gameplay perspective, going back to the quest giver 4 times when it could have been done in 3 or even 2 steps, and it could have lessened the back and forth, all the back and forth on this quest line specifically. There are many other examples of this throughout Swampfleet and Cardolan, but this one is so annoying. Oh my god. Oh my god, would you please stop? Eight spiders, just like that. I wouldn't be surprised either if, for example, they were to ask, I don't know, go and burn their webs and return here before we ask you to actually slay the queening here. That wouldn't surprise me at all, because this queen in particular is so unnecessarily convoluted that once again, I think there could have been better ways of doing this entire thing. This is one of maybe few scenarios in which the game really should provide a more modern experience, because this quest in particular feels so archaic in the way in which it's designed. The quest itself, it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. From a storyline perspective, it's really not doing that much as well, but it's providing a tease of sorts for the Black Riders. That in itself is also not bad. Building their threat a little bit by word of mouth, that is a great idea, but it's so unnecessary having to do this. How many times have we crossed this bridge already? 4, 6, there will be another one by the end of this. At least 2 more crossings of this bridge. Now my question still is, was it really that necessary? But I'm gonna stop complaining about this quest now. I think I've made my point already. I'm just beating a dead horse by now. But you get what I mean. And I think it's safe to assume most players would agree with it, because this quest, man, it takes really a really short amount of time, all things considered, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why they did it that way.
Just a moment.
So, the infestation has gotten worse. If left unchecked, these spiders could multiply and endanger all of the Storvilles. It is bad enough with ailing crop and aggressive animals. All that won't matter if this whole land is overrun by this infestation. You must find the Spider Queen taken by the Shadow and defeat them. You see, you could have said that when we initially got the quest, like, go and defeat these spiders and then look for their queen. Something like that. We've had many quests that also work that way. Oh, Coduin. Don't tell me please that I missed it.
It was this very shadow that led me here, and that has kept me here.
Are you the one who helped Nudo? We have both been working tirelessly to combat the spread. I found myself here in the Storvilles in my travels through Eregion. It was this very shadow that led me here, and that has kept me here. If you could help me, perhaps I could create a draught that could ease the pain on the land. I will first need samples of the blighted plant life. The corruption is strongest in the dark nest of Cobshollow. Travel to Cobshollow and find samples of the corrupted plant life, but be cautious. What lurks within is dark and twisted. Dark and full of terrors, I was about to say. I just hope that Corwin will not ask us to go back a second time. How many times are we gonna go there? But as I promised, the view from this place, it's really great. I know some players modify maybe the game files or through the graphic card control panel they increase draw distance and a lot of graphical effects. I have not tinkered with that a lot, even though I think my graphic card could take it. But I'm so afraid of breaking something by mistake that I really don't like to do that kind of thing. But even with the vanilla experience, it's a really great view that we have here.
Come, look over yonder.
Ah, you made it. Come, look over yonder. Is it not marvelous? On clear days you can see all the way to Tharbad. Right, maybe not. But is it not still a wonder? Go on ahead and take a look. Yeah, not Tharbad by a long shot. Oh my god, no. There's no way you can see Tharbad from here, but still a really good view. You taking the glorious view. Yeah, the depths also new, of course. They're showing off with this, I believe. And they should. They did a great job.
Impressive, no?
Impressive, no? Anyhow, you may be wondering why I asked you for the bird wings and why there's a rock tied to my favorite handkerchief. You see, he pauses dramatically, lowering his voice to a whisper. I am going to be the first hobbit to fly like a bird. I have been experimenting and studying things that fly, birds, handkerchiefs that aren't weighed down by rocks, those sort of things. My experiments have not quite garnered the results I was hoping for, but I have a new plan that is sure to work. Here is where you come in. I need you to gather some materials for me. If I go about doing it myself, there will be no end of questions and interruptions. I need the straightest branch you can find, rope, and the purple canvas that's hanging on one of the houses at the base of the southern cliffs. We are going to build a larger kite than anyone has ever seen before, and then I am going to leap from this edge like an eagle and soar over Storvales. You just wait and see. You know what this reminds me now? Hearing Aran talking about flying like an eagle. It's a very similar scenario and everything, but I'm reminded of the song Flight of Icarus by Iron Maiden. I mean, Maiden is my favorite band. I love all their songs. And I've listened to Flight of Icarus a lot of times. And, well, once again, the situation, especially this time, is really similar. At the break of day, someone who's trying to fly. I don't know if there will be a crowd, but I imagine there will be, even if the game doesn't show it. I really can't see these hobbits missing this. This will be the gossip of town for a long time, so of course a lot of hobbits would gather around and see if Aran makes it, if he's able to fly. He wants to fly like an eagle. I mean, he's only missing his father. So that he can tell his father that he will indeed fly. But he will not have such a tragic end as Icarus. But yeah, that just hit me. Doing this quest right now, and once again, it's also maybe the time of day, because the song also mentions that as the sun breaks above the ground, an old man stands on the hill. I don't know how old Aran is, but yeah, it really made me think of the song. Now that we're talking about Maiden, this branch looks nice and straight. We're gonna go back to Cobshollow, but as I was saying, now that we are talking about Maiden, I also have another reference to one of their songs in one of the early episodes, I guess. In one of the Volume 1 episodes. Nobody has picked up on it. I think nobody has mentioned that. And for me, it was just a sort of, inside joke, maybe. Having some fun. I never expected anybody to catch upon it, really, because I think it's maybe not the best hidden thing, but it's not on the nose either. I don't think so. But anyway, if you also love the band, or if you also enjoy this sort of scavenger hunts, you might want to check that out and see if you can find it. Once again, it's not the best hidden thing, but it's also it requires a little bit of work. So if that's up your alley, maybe that's a challenge that would interest you, and let's see if somebody feels like that's a good idea. Anyway, I was wondering about this shadow. So it seems we got the quest for that. So, the Spider Queen that we need to defeat is really not that Web Queen that you see in there. But when we come across the queen that we do need to get for this quest, you will know. You will know. I just hope this is the last time we need to come here. So trying to take this easy, not trying to pull as many spiders as I did the last time. Because that was a close call, in my opinion. I really ended up pulling more than I wanted, but well, in the end it turned out okay. But my experience with the Brigand camp on last episode has me a little bit cautious about future endeavors. So I of course want to try my luck against some of these enemies, but I don't want to get too overconfident. This is the queen, of course. Had to be this big thing. What else were you expecting? You defeat the corrupted Spider Queen. I don't know why I have a feeling that there should be something else in here for one of the explorer deeds. We haven't found really any more of the treasure caches. And we also haven't found more of the objects for the ancient folk of the Glanduin. What's the name of that deed? Oh my god, there we go again. I mean, this seems like the perfect place for something to be hidden. Anything. But just cocoons, really? It doesn't seem right. And I seem to remember the last time I wasn't here, I found something. Maybe I can risk riding around a little bit. See if I can find anything I might have missed before. Really don't think we'll be coming back here. for any other quest, but feels so weird. There should be something in here, Anna. There's a place. I haven't looked. Oh my god, the Spider Queen has already respawned? Now I can't find a Feldworth for the quest. One of those rare cases where you have an exact number of things you need to find. You would have thought I will give you at least a couple more flowers to complete this quest with, but it's not a big deal. Now, yeah, I'm gonna show you something here in just a moment, but let me go back to the town. I don't think this is the way. I have lost my way again. Not gonna bother with the spiders anymore. They don't advance any deed. There's no interesting item that I see. So I think I'm gonna skip this. Well, not skip this. I'm just gonna make my way back somehow. God, how did I get here in the first place? There was an opening between the rocks. I can't find it now. Oh my god, what did I do? Oh, for God's sake. The Spider Queen again? Really? Was this one? Doesn't seem to be. No, it's a little bit eastward. Lots of cocoons, but yeah, nothing that I think it's really that interesting in here. Okay, we're finally out. And please, once again, let this be the last time we cross the bridge in here. Copper deposit. Can't do anything with that. I'm also really looking forward to the crafting update promised in the roadmap. The 2023 roadmap. The ability of having 4 professions and the professions being more flexible, you being able to mix them in any way you like. That sounds really exciting. That would open so many possibilities. Alright, so hopefully that was the last time we crossed that bridge. Hopefully. Let's see. Let's check all this out and we'll see in just a moment.
Hello.
Thank you for defeating the Spider Queen. That should slow their proliferation into the store veils for now. But this is just the beginning. We must find a more permanent solution to driving back the shadow. We have some room to breathe yet. Okay, at least Nudo is done, but let's see if Corwin is done too.
I had anticipated a further progressed corruption, but these plants have transformed into something else entirely.
We must act quickly if we are to fight this corruption. You will find that mortar and pestle by my work table. Take the samples and grind them into a workable powder. Alright, this one. Sure, I can do that.
Take the samples and mix them with the ingredients I have prepared.
Good. Next you need to do, take the ground powder and incorporate it into the mixing bowl. I have gathered several ingredients in the mixing bowl already. My work table is nearby. Take the samples and mix them with the ingredients I have prepared. Alright? Yeah, Garlic, we'll see if this is enough. We'll find out in just a moment. The draught looks ready.
You have done well. This draught should be enough to stave off the corruption for now.
You will need to find a suitable area to spread the draught. A source of running water should prove effective in spreading the draught throughout the land. Take this file and find a waterfall. There should be one to the south of Lintrev that runs into the white water that the people of the Store Vales often visit to use to clean their things. That should work. Yeah, well, at least I know where that waterfall is. And I think we have enough time today to go back to the waterfall. That should truly be the last time we take this path. And also check in on Adam. I'm really curious to see if his flying experiment is going to have any success. Not bothering about the Crevine either. I think this should be the place we're looking for. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is the place. Oh my god, we need to... No, this is the place. This looks like a good spot. Not a good spot. Such a small area. God, yeah. This one. Thank you. The file has been emptied. Before we go back to Codowin, let us first see what happens with Aden's kite. Goodbye, Bridge. You turned out to be more important than anyone would have thought. So thank you for your service, but I hope I don't see you again. Anyway, let us see. Oh, there's a Hobbit tower there in the distance. Looks Hobbitish, at least. We'll see if that's the case. Maybe we get to explore that one. I might know what that one is about. I'm not entirely sure. As I was saying before, there is another thing I want to show you, but I don't think we'll have enough time for that today. We'll see. These flowers don't let me see. Alright, he's on top of this rock. I gotta get in here as well. Alright. Another great vantage point. Oh my god, so cool. So cool indeed. I think I even like this one better than the one in town. Here we are, Adam. But let me see. Seems you're having a great time in here with your picnic and everything. That looks like a tasty pie. Let us see.
Well, you took too long, and I got hungry, and...
Oh, hello. I see you managed to gather all the things I needed for the kite. Well, you took too long, and I got hungry, and I suppose I will have to put off flying for today. Earl has baked an incredible apple pie for me, and it would be rude to let it go cold. I might try flying tomorrow, we'll see. Maybe from a nearby hill instead of... He looks up to the cliffs and swallows. Up so high. The heavy hobbit, yeah, you are so heavy from eating all those apple pies. Oh my god. Yeah. I guess he will not get to fly. But at least you tried. The idea was good. But I guess hobbits are not ready for that yet. Maybe your kids. Maybe your kids will love doing that. That would be really nice. If they do. The crabline in here are so annoying. Alright. I think this was the tower we were seeing before, maybe? Seems likely, right?
This should help in warding off the Shadow's corruption for now, but I fear it may not be enough.
Nonetheless, this gives us more time to come up with a more permanent solution. We have done all we can with what we have. That is all anyone can hope for. I hope that whatever looms out there spreading this shadow will soon meet its end. Yeah, that was the end of it. Cool, we are so close to getting to level 12. But I think that one will have to wait for the next episode. Maybe this craven would be enough? No. 4 XP. Oh my god, we're so close. Let me hit level 12 before we end today's episode. Because why not? There we go. Awesome, take a look at this. Just what I was telling about at the beginning of today's episode. We got combination strike, power attack, and the 3 icon gambits. Awesome. Awesome, I was so ready to start getting 3 icon gambits. This progression feels so cool. And we are gonna make use of those gambits really soon. That means that we can also now take advantage of this bleed trait and this spear tips trait, because they will affect both the bleeds from power attack. We have spear gambit initial damage, that sounds cool as well. Light damage, morale tap damage. I really don't know which one I will get. We don't have a lot of light tap damage gambits yet. But yeah, I guess I'll take the time to check them. And I'll try to come up with the best possible alternative for the new trait one we got. But that will be all for today's episode. Garlic is saying goodbye as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.